I'd like to read to you a scene about the rapture out of a book I'm finishing called The Great Vanishing. It's book 2 of The Trail of the Dragon. I'd appreciate if you'd listen. The once inviting space was now a scene of devastation. The driverless car had tragically come to rest on top of the young woman who, moments earlier, had been joyfully chattering with her friends. The impact was fatal. Her life was cut short in the most unexpected and heartbreaking manner. Tristan scrambled through the frenzied mob, pushing past people in desperate attempts to locate his friends. The room that had been filled with the gentle hum of relaxing conversation descended into chaos. He scanned the tumultuous crowd, his eyes darting around until they locked onto a table where Becca and Andrea were crouched, covering their heads with their arms to shield themselves from the debris flying around them. Without a moment's hesitation, Tristan rushed over to his friends. He noticed immediately that the guys were not with him. "Where are Maverick and Connor?" he asked. Urgency tinged his voice. Becca looked up, her face mixed with confusion and fear. "Maverick just went to the bathroom to check on Connor," she said. "He wanted to see what was taking him so long." As if on cue, Maverick appeared, running toward them with a look of sheer horror etched on his face. He seemed to be in shock, his steps unsteady, as he approached the table. "Connor's gone!" he exclaimed, breathless. Andrea, her voice trembling, cried out, "What do you mean by he's gone?" She waited for some reasonable explanation about her brother's whereabouts, but her anxiety only grew as she listened. "I ran into the bathroom," Maverick continued, his voice shaking. "I checked every stall, but the only thing I found was clothes. They were crumpled on the ground on top of one another, as if he had just vanished into thin air." He held up Connor's clothes, displaying them as evidence of his bewildered claim. "I'm not exactly sure what has just happened, but I think we need to head directly to Race's house and take him up on his offer to use that thing he called a scrying stone. I think this fits his description of topsy-turvy, don't you?" A chill ran down Tristan's spine. Race had always been a bit of an oddball, obsessed with the paranormal and mystical. He often spoke of strange events that would happen in the future, but he had never taken him seriously. "The scrying stone," Race exclaimed, "will reveal to you what you need to do next if you're left behind." It sounded absurd at the time, but now, with Connor mysteriously missing, they were willing to consider other options. So that's one excerpt, and I'm going to, right after this in the same shirt, I'm going to show you another excerpt. And I would really appreciate what you think about it, how realistic it might sound, some additions you might have to it. My first book, Ruins of Rahab, won 3rd place at the National Writers Conference at the Blue Ridge Mountain Christian Writers Conference, and this is going to be the follow-up. So thank you for listening, and I'm going to post the other one right after this.